Hi, I'm Lila, and this is the final part in a 4-part series on how to lead your very own children's book club for ages 6 and 7. This is great to use for anyone looking to start a book club or if you just want a fun literacy activity to do with your child. In this video, I will be telling you everything you need to know to read and lead a discussion and 2 engaging activities based on the book Grace for President by Kelly DiPucchio and illustrated by LeUyen Pham. The theme of this book club session is all about believing in yourself to be anything you want to be as a grown-up and encouraging girls. If you watch my other videos, you know a common icebreaker I like to use is would you rather, but having the kids stand up and go to different sides of the room that correspond with their preferences. I love this icebreaker because it really involves everyone and is pretty low pressure for the kids that might be shy. I themed this icebreaker to dream jobs to set the vibe for the session and ask them questions about would you rather be a fashion designer or an astronaut. Definitely ask follow-up questions to get them talking more and sharing more. For kids, I wouldn't ask very general questions like why did you choose a fashion designer or why do you want to be an astronaut? This can be easy for some kids, but it might be intimidating for those who are more shy. Instead, you can ask them something more specific, like what planet would you visit if you were an astronaut? Or would you design shirts or pants? Sometimes they won't want to talk, and that's also okay. The point of book club is to have fun, be comfortable, and learn, not to practice public speaking. For this session, we are going to go right into the read aloud, but have a mini discussions along the way. You can pause at the electoral votes page and try to explain electoral votes if you wish. There is a page on the back with more information. It's not essential to the story, but it's a good opportunity to learn about the government. When you get to the pages about campaigns, ask the club members if their school does something like this where they can vote for a class president, or if they've ever seen anything like posters or advertisements in their community that are campaigns. Lastly, have a club vote just like how Grace's class will be voting for president. Right before the result is revealed, go back and read out what each presidential candidate has to offer. Ask them whether they like the bake sale or the lunch offering. Ask them who they think worked harder to win and if they deserve to or not. You can have the kids raise their hands on who they would vote, but keep in mind that voting is a personal matter. On a separate note, if a kid walks in late, you can also have the rest of the club catch them up by telling them what's happening in the book. Of course, with you filling in any holes and emphasizing the lesson. This encourages that the late child isn't lost and the other club members can recount what they've listened to so far. For the first activity, we are going to make secret message encouragement bracelets. Assign different colors to each different encouraging word. I've linked the printable key in my bio, but please feel free to edit the words you want or to change the colors depending on what beads you have available. I chose to do these. Pink is strength, green is brave, purple is smart, yellow is joy, and blue is confidence. Also, if you're not using my key, I suggest you add pictures that represent each word to accommodate for different reading levels. For the second activity, each club member is going to get a paper bag and supplies to make their very own dream job puppet. They can draw themselves or someone else in their dream job or a job that they're interested in. I provided googly eyes, coloring supplies, as well as different colored paper, and of course glue sticks for their puppets. This session is really volunteer dependent, depending of course on the amount of people that you have, but because not all the kids will be safe with the scissors, you need volunteers to help cut out clothes or drawings that they want to glue on. You can always make some pre-made items, but you also don't want to use all your materials, so I would definitely suggest having some volunteers on site for this session. I hosted my book club for free, so I didn't want to waste any materials just based off how many signups I got, just not knowing how many people would actually show up. However, I do suggest that you make a big sign-up form so you know how many supplies to get and just to be able to follow up with parents through emails. That concludes the 4-part how-to series. I really hope that you enjoyed these lessons and this video, and as always, please host and spread the word about this club. Check out Where the Wild Books are on Instagram and DM me there if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or if you need any tips for creating your own lessons. Thanks!